Hey guys, it's DC, and welcome to the Soap Sanctuary where all soap lovers are welcome, guys. Guys, this is my video on character development on soap. So you get 2 for 1 today. Today's a Saturday. I'm hoping these videos can post later tonight after I quickly edit both of them, that and my wine review. Sundays are the days I don't do anything. I don't do classwork. I don't do nothing. That is my day to relax and to love the Lord. But I was thinking about character development of soaps because I was on Albert's Live a while back ago, and he had a special guest on who said that a lot of soaps don't do character development. They mainly just focus on shock and suspense. And I absolutely agree with that. I think soaps are very rushed. They're really more so focused about shock and suspense and less so much the story, right? And GH is one of those soaps that's I think, very famous for that right now, are the remaining 4. I don't ever see development going on or storyline development going on. It's just like, how can we shock you every Friday? How can we shock you every day? And they did that a lot. I mean, that's what I think captivated a lot of viewers from the early 2000s and onward GH. But I think that they had a balance to it that made it play out better than it does now, right? Now, here's the thing. If you were to ask me the best soap that had character development, which one do you think it would be? Just take a moment and guess which soap that I would say. And it's not necessarily in between the 4 current soaps I have in the air. I'm talking the Divine 9 soaps, as in As the World Turns, Guiding Light, Young the Restless, Bold and the Beautiful, Days of Our Lives, Passions, One Life to Live, General Hospital, and All My Children. Between the Divine 9, that's what I call them, which ones do you think, out of all those Divine 9, out of all those 9 soaps, I think had the best character development? Okay. The correct answer for me would be All My Children. All My Children was actually the first soap that I ever started watching. I think what captivated me was the storyline development and the character development. It wasn't so much about shock with All My Children. It was really about developing up the characters. And the reason why I would say All My Children, for me, in terms of the early late 2000s, was All My Children. Before that, I would say it was most of the Procter & Gamble soaps, like classic As the World Turns, classic Guiding Light, and classic Another World. Another World had too much character and storyline development, where at some point you would wonder with Another World, like, when are we gonna get to the story? When are we gonna get to the story, okay? But with All My Children, I was captivated by it back in 2006. I felt like I got to grow with the characters of Pine Valley. I was 12 when I first started watching it, which lets you know I'm 30, right? But I was 12 when I first started watching All My Children. And what I liked about it is that you got to see things play out. There were little nuances in the storyline and the dialogue. I think about one of the biggest things was the friendship between Bianca and JR, which was a very complicated friendship. Take a look.
We welcome him back in and risk getting hurt all over again. Sometimes I think that's worse.
They're trying awfully hard to win us back. It's got to count for something. I mean, they could still be off with the people they left us for.
Then why aren't they?
Because they love us. They chose us.
Well, when you put it that way.
I'm gonna take off. Good luck with your recovery.
Thanks.
see, that was the thing with All My Children. When characters did things that were just so left field, you really got to connect with them in a sense because, or when someone did something shocking, you actually then was like, you felt shocked because they developed this character so much. They really stamped in this person was a goody two-shoes. It wasn't like you saw them for a goody two-shoes here and there, or you saw that they had this upstanding moral character here and there, or they were this completely raunchy bad character here and there. It was always brought up through the dialogue, and All My Children's music department was amazing. I'm not talking about the montage songs they'll play, those little, you know, that kind of music they'll play when they're talking, just like with Bianca and Jared you saw. That undertone music really set the tone because it lets you know this is a scene where you're supposed to feel emotional. Now, there are some soap producers, I can't remember some of their names, where they like to let the screen go black. Jill Farren Phelps, she's one of those where she didn't like the dramatic music, she let the screen go black right after the dramatic scene, which was good. But I like that All My Children let you know what you were supposed to feel. I did like that. I like that. They let you know what you were supposed to feel. And, you know, soaps are becoming more modern nowadays. This is how it's supposed to go. But, I mean, that's how soaps were back in the day. Where they're the ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. They let you know what you're supposed to feel. Days, their music is so weird, I'm not sure how I'm supposed to feel sometimes. But it lets you know what you were supposed to feel when you were watching that scene. It gave you the gravity of it, and it developed it out a lot. Currently, between the remaining 4 soaps, I'd have to say it'd have to be Young and the Restless for character development because they are really taking their time to tell the story. Days, on the hand, is like trying to shock you every chance they can get, and Days has become very comical. It reminds me of Passions, but Passions had that type of tone, but Passions did suspense very well. Story, character development, I'm not so sure about that. Except when it came to Teresa Lopez Fitzgerald. She was the show. She was the Erica Kane of Passions, okay? It was all about her. But to me, that was the biggest thing is that with YNR, they're taking their time now to tell the stories. They're really taking their time. That's how you can feel the emotions. You're wondering what are people's next steps or next plans. And it's clear that the writers have direction. Now, here's the thing. GH is trying to do character development on their show, and I applaud them for trying it out. But the problem is they don't have a clear direction, and we can sense that as they're trying to give us these dialogues, these characters, as to play on their friendships, as to play on their histories. Just like how with on General Hospital, Anna's mad that Nina didn't tell her about what happened with Charlotte. Nina's not your friend, sis. I don't know where. I don't know how that came into play. Like, y'all are not friends. Valentine's the man you should be mad at, not Nina. But I guess she can't be mad at Valentine, so she's gonna have to be mad at Nina. Nina's the next target in that. But to me, All My Children was good in character development because you felt it. When Angie and Jesse came back on All My Children, you felt that love, you felt that connection because they really built it up. Even when you knew that Jesse would come back from the dead because of all the promos and the Alicia Keys songs, the songs they had from Alicia Keys underneath the promos, there was a good build-up. The music department, All My Children, perfect for me, perfect. And the way they built it up, the way they acted, people can say what they want about Megan McTavish and, God, I forgot the name, Charles something, I forgot his name. But they killed it with that show. I know you guys are going to say, the show was so great, why was it last in the ratings? It doesn't mean it wasn't good. Loving was probably, in their last 2 weeks or a month on the show killed it. But the problem is, it was too late. And a lot of shows bring their greatest material when it's too late. Because now I feel like they don't feel that pressure from the network or what they think the fans want, what they think the network wants of how to tell the story. They just tell the story. And that's when they're the greatest. Unfortunately, right? Unfortunately, like with B&B, we're never going to get diversity on B&B because we're not their audience. I want to be real with you guys. American people are not B&B's audience, their target audience. You're not going to get the storylines you want from these people, okay? They'll give you a little bit to snack on, you know what I'm saying, so they keep it on CBS station, but we're not their target audience. I realized that a long time ago, and I've accepted that as fact. But the thing about it is that for me, All My Children really played on those subtle nuances with their characters. If you look at Jesse and Angie even, their history, the way they told their story, you really connected with those characters. Here's a scene, a classic scene from All My Children with with Angie and Yvonne after she is confronting Yvonne after sleeping with Jesse. Take a look.
I don't have any sympathy for you. I took you in my home. I loaned you money. trusted you with Jesse when he needed your help. I treated you like a sister. And you lied to me. You used me. You seduced my husband. For the longest time, I felt like such a fool. I thought I couldn't trust anyone. You know, believe it or not, that is the worst thing that you did to me. You took away my trust. So don't you dare come to me for sympathy, Yvonne. Because if I feel anything for anybody, it's for that baby.
Angie, that's just what I mean. I've got a lot of other things to think about now.
If you'd been thinking, you wouldn't have gotten pregnant in the first place when you had no means of support and no stable home to raise a child. But you know, you haven't changed one bit, Yvonne. All you think about is yourself, your emotions, what you want, when you want it.
Okay, Angie, I'm not as smart as you. But I'm sorry, okay? If you could just forgive me.
I have work to do.
And I've seen a little bit of that story between Yvonne and Angie play out on All My Children. You can see that Yvonne really felt conflicted. She's like, I'm not as smart as you, Angie. You can see that moment. She's like, damn, I made a mistake. We don't see those things anymore on soaps. People see people's man. We don't see that true hardship, that true storyline, that true pause. Like, hey, I trusted you, my friend. We don't see that breakdown. Now, here's the thing. They developed out Angie and Yvonne's friendship very well on All My Children at that time, so that when it came down to this bombshell, it came down to the secret, you felt the shock. The same with Lillian and Maureen on Guiding Light. You felt that impact of it, right? You felt that impact. So Nina coming after Sonny on GH wasn't as impactful as it could have been, because her and Carly didn't have no history, and it was like Carly came for a man, and it was part of her revenge. They didn't really set it up right. They didn't really set it up right? But All My Children was known to do that. Now, One Life to Live was another one, too. One Life to Live, to me, had a great balance of shock and suspense and character development. More so shock and suspense, but they had that character development a little bit in there. Take a look here in this scene. I think it was back in 07 or 08 or 09, with it was Nick and Kyle. And this is after Kyle discovers that Nick was still faking his prolonged injuries just to keep Kyle from going back to Oliver. Take a look.
Trusted you? I defended you? I let you in my home? Because I freaked out. Because 1 minute I had this terrific guy, and the next minute I'm alone in the back alley of some bar, getting beaten by thugs for being gay. And I was so scared, Kyle. I was lying there thinking, I don't want to die alone. And then you showed up to the hospital and you were so great. Then all of a sudden, I don't want to die alone turned into I don't want to live alone. I don't want to go to sleep alone. I don't want to wake up alone. I don't want to do all the things that... And I convinced myself that I couldn't be alone. And you were there. This guy that I love and I trust. And it was like I didn't have to be alone. And I just didn't count on how much you love Oliver. I'm so sorry, Kyle. I'm sorry, too. I should have made it more clear. No, you were great. But not to Oliver. Yeah. Go. I'll be gone when you get back. Nick, are you sure I'll be fine? I'll either take the room down the hall or I'll call Amelia. Go.
And see, this is the thing. In the words of Ottawa 20, they were morally gray characters. So characters are written very morally gray. And that's what I loved about soap characters, man. I love that about my soap characters. We gave them multiple layers because you knew Nick was shiesty for what he did, but you still felt for the man. He was beaten up in an alley, And he said, I don't want to be alone. It didn't feel like that cartoonish way that most soaps do, like, I want to have you all to myself, or I'm going to kill you. It didn't feel like that. I felt like, I just didn't want to lose you. I really wanted you. And I felt alone. In that moment, I just saw my whole life flash from my eyes. I didn't want to die a lonely man. I don't have nobody. I needed you. I wanted to have you. And you felt that in the scene. You felt that. You felt that in the scene. Or when Jared was in the hospital with Bianca, he can have babe. I don't want her anymore. I just don't want her anymore. It hurts so much. You felt that pain from Jacob Young. Now here's the thing. A lot of these actors, I didn't see them duplicate that same talent on the shows. What shows you, actors and actresses have the talent, but is there the writing there to support that? Is the writing there to support that? Is the next question, right? So, All My Children, for me, like I said, the reason why I had that character development is I felt that. When Tad Martin was revealed to be the one who put Greg Madden 6 feet under, buried underneath the Pine Valley Park, I felt that. And you felt his pain. And it was always reinforced that he was still looking for Kate. He was a good man in Pine Valley. These things were reinforced, and it was always developed out in Tad's character, regardless of his past, right? Regardless of his past. But that's what made it such a majestical show. Now, this low-key kind of became like an All My Children video, but character development to me in soaps is really important, and we don't have enough of that these days. But if I had to give the prize to one of the soaps, it would be Y&R. Now, in the comments below, guys, let me know which soap do you think right now, currently on air, has the best character development, and which soap of all time, Divine Nine and Then Some, had the best character development and the best storyline development in the comments below, guys. And I'll see you guys in the next one. This has been Soap Sanctuary.